Greetings. This is Wakia, aka Thunder. It's been a while since I've done a video, and it's a good thing because I like to really contemplate about what I'm going to say before I do a video, and sometimes I'll contemplate for months or weeks or whatever. But I felt a pressing need to do this video, and it came about really from yesterday when I spent a lot of time looking at this just awesome sunset. The clouds were all around. That's probably another reason I'm doing it, because the thunder beings live in the clouds, and when there's a lot of clouds around, thunder clouds and stratus clouds and cumulus stratus clouds, Wakia comes awake with communing with the thunder beings. I was thinking about war. I was thinking about the planet. I was thinking about why mankind would treat this planet and the environment and his fellow man so bad when everything is so good, really. I mean, when you look at the gorgeous sunset, and when you look at the planet, and when you look at the beautiful clouds and the green ocean and the brown earth that was given to us as our home, as a gift, it's hard to fathom why man is so unhappy, and why man is so warring. Okay, and that's the thing that came to my mind, is like, what is the problem? What the problem is that there's a faction, or a fiction, really. There's a piece of man's mind, or a piece of man's soul, or a piece of man's heart that is bent on darkness and aggression and coveting other people's possessions, and all that equals war. Or you might say that man is competitive, okay? Competition, coveting. Now, we've been told many times by many great masters, okay, that that's not where it's at. Where it's at is love. And I know that the word love can roll off your tongue real easy. You can say love and light. You can say I love you. You can say all these things that have to do with love. But do you practice it? And does mankind practice it? Does mankind practice it? No. Actually, he doesn't. And that's the problem. That's where the problem lies. Is man is bent on war, W-A-R, war, and he's been that way since day one, and even the tribal people have been that way, and it's caused them a lot of problems. Now, let's look at war. Let's look at war, and let's look at love. Okay. Where does this figment of man's imagination, or this whatever it is, where does this drive? Okay, where does this drive to want a war, to want to take others' possessions? And that's what war is usually about, is like either land or property, or ethnicity or religion, but war is war, and war is hell. Okay, and war is not love. War is not love in any way, shape, or form, and it shouldn't be practiced. What should be practiced is love. Now, one of the great masters, Yeshua, said, love thy enemy. Okay? And he talked about forgiveness. And he talked about, well, how many times, Master, do we forgive? 7 times? And he said 70 times 7 times. And he talked about love. Okay? And other masters did too, and many great holy men have talked about love and exhibited love. And sometimes this is really hard for me to talk about because I've considered myself a warrior, but I guess even the term warrior just is starting to really, even spiritual warrior, that's better. But when you're at war, you're at conflict with something, you are making something an enemy. Now, what did Yeshua mean? What did he mean when he said, love your enemies? Okay. And a lot of people are going to say, well, what if some aggressor, makes an act of aggression towards a peaceful people? Or what if there's victimizers and they're turning people into victims? How can you love them? You have to defend yourself against them. You have to rise up and repel the invader. Well, let's just look at the big picture here for a minute. Let's look at the invader. Let's not look at what we have to do. Let's look at the aggression, okay, from the invader. That's the cause of the problem, isn't it? So what is that? That's a warring mentality. And where does that arise? Well, it arises out of some deep, dark place. Okay? It arises out of some deep, dark place that we know not of. Okay? Or maybe we do on some levels. So the only way to overcome this deep, dark place, or this darkness, or this heart of darkness, is like to look at your heart and say, where is my heart? Where is my heart? Is it a heart of love, or is it a heart of darkness? Okay. Now, can you overcome darkness with love? Well, maybe you should try blending, okay, blending some of that love in slowly and see what happens. Okay, it's all right to have love or to project love to affect change. It's not a selfish thing, okay? It's okay to direct love towards something that you want to affect change in. And when you do this, when you look at, like, let's say you look at the nations, and when you look at the situations on the planet and all the things that you hate, okay, or all the things that make you angry, or all the things that you feel are unjust, reach deep down inside yourself and project love at it, okay? Love from your heart, okay? Now, when Yeshua said love your enemies, was he saying that your enemies are good guys, or that they're, No, he was using a concept that is far beyond what many people know, okay? When you're loving your enemy, you're not giving any power to him except love. You're sending love, which in a sense makes him not an enemy anymore within yourself, okay? He may still do everything that he's going to do, but it's a beautiful way, and Yeshua knew this, it's a beautiful way to diffuse a situation, to release the negativity, to ground out, okay? To ground out with love, because that love that you're sending to your enemy, who is that benefiting really? Who is it benefiting really? Well, let's start with yourself, okay? Because if you have feelings of hatred and feelings of anxiety and feelings of fear, who is that hurting? Who is it hurting? And Yeshua knew this. It's hurting you. So in order to love yourself, you have to project that love to others. Okay? Now see, this is exactly what is wrong with this system of things that's happening right now, with the prevailing attitude or the prevailing concept. I don't know what you want to call it, but that drive to take from others, to take things from others, to disrespect others, to war against others. So what is this doing? It's causing havoc upon the planet. It's causing havoc. It always has and always will, till mankind gets it. This could be a big lesson just for mankind, and if he doesn't learn it, he's liable to make himself disappear into extinction. This could be the biggest lesson on the planet. This could be the whole lesson of the whole ball of wax, from what we call the Supreme Being, or the Supreme Creative Source, or how about the Supreme Creative Energy. Maybe the way to talk to that energy, or to talk to God, if you will, I'll use that term, God, Great Spirit, whatever. The only way to commune with that spirit is to exhibit love. Now I know that the Bible depicts, and I'm not even going to go here. I'm just going to send it love, okay? But sometimes the Bible and other books might depict God as a unloving, merciful, warring being, okay? Well, let's go beyond the Bible, people. That was written by man, and that was their concept, their different concepts of God that suited them. God's going to kick ass. God's going to command Moses to go into for Joshua to, for him to tell Joshua to go into the city of Jericho and level it. Scorched earth policy, war. It's time to go beyond religious teachings, people. It's time to go beyond the Bible and go direct to the source, okay? And that source is within you and without you, okay? And that source is centered in love, okay? Now, what is love? People are going, well, it's a good feeling, okay? Because as soon as any situation that arises in your life, whether it's a governmental authority or a mate, contentious mate or contentious people, as soon as you start projecting love, as soon as you start really digging, and I know it's hard, but when you start digging deep down inside yourself and pulling up that feeling into your heart, from the one eye of the heart into your heart, and you start loving and sending love, you're actually sending love to yourself. Again, you're sending love to yourself. As within, so without. Okay, as without, so within. You're sending love to yourself. So where does this all lead us? I mean, where is this going here? Where is mankind? Well, your concern should be just with yourself and sending love right now. Okay, and then just see what happens. Okay, see if things transform around you. See if the world forms around you in a different way. This is something that I know is hard for people to do, and it's hard for me to do. I'll be the first to admit that. It's been a long, hard road for me. Lessons learned, lessons appreciated, lessons learned the hard way. And this lesson is one of love, okay? And love is a feeling, okay? A feeling of compassion, okay? For your fellow man and yourself. A feeling of embracing and loving and caring for and having compassion and non-jealousy and non-coveting, okay? Not wanting to be in competition with, all the things that they drill into us in society that are things that we should do. You know, look prettier, have a better body than so-and-so, have a good body so you'll be attractive, have money, have all these things that have nothing to do with love, okay? I know this is a long video, but this is important. The power of love, real love, not just, hey, I love you, you know. I'm talking real love, the feeling of compassion, the feeling of oneness with everything that's around you and just projecting that feeling. You know? So, I don't know, these are some thoughts that I've been considering. Like I say, even let's take even the tribal thing, the native thing, which all of you know I am a part of deeply. Even the native thing, when they were warring with each other, when they were having their skirmishes, I'll get that out, with each other, that's when another faction came in and took over. And the native people were beautiful people, but again, this drive to possess, you know, either a certain portion of land or horses or keep somebody else off your property instead of sharing. See, that's another part of love. Sharing. Not coveting, sharing. Not being jealous of, being happy for. Okay? Others that have things. All these things come into play. You can't try to possess things. There is no possessing things. None of us own anything, really. And so, as we see helicopters flying around this beautiful planet and missiles soaring through the air and in unison, and warplanes and people in big boats firing off guns and cruisers and missiles and destroyers and greedy financial people and all these things that are going on, send them love. Because you're sending yourself love, and you're releasing any power that they might have over you on a psychological level. You're in a sense, you've won the battle. You've actually eliminated the battle before it even started. You have put a stopgap to war in your mind. Okay. Because all the battles go on up here, baby. That's where they go on. And we project them out there. So think about these things that I said today. I'm just kind of speaking off the top of my head and what Wakia thinks. Okay. But there's no good end to being, aggressive. There's no good end to wanting something that somebody else has, wanting to possess. There's no good end to forcing others to do anything. And all of this, any kind of aggression. Well, let's put it this way: aggression comes in many forms. Okay, comes in many forms. Whether it's forcing yourself on a mate or forcing your ideals or belief systems on somebody else, or forcing your government on other people or your way of thinking. It's all war. And it's all instilled in us, and it's all dark. Now, final thing here, where does this come from? Where does this this drive come from? Well, it comes from darkness. That's all you need to know. We don't need to define it. We can just say it comes from darkness. Does it make you feel good? Okay. Does it come from a place of good feeling? And good came from the word God, by the way. So does it come from a place of God feeling? Good feeling. Forget all the concepts of God, except for this one. Love. Feeling good. Giving. Sharing. Okay? Now, when you start thinking that way and you start projecting that, you start sending that energy out, you're going to start feeling better. You're going to start feeling better about yourself. And maybe that's the final test, if there is a test, or maybe that's maybe that's exactly how you talk again and commune with and become one with the creative source. Okay? Not through any other way, but that way. So I'll leave it there today for you to think about and ponder on, and hopefully come to conclusions on your own. Any comments here, always appreciated. This is Wakia sending you much love, a lot of love from the heart, from the one eye of the heart.